Good morning. Good morning. So, was the PPT shared with you yesterday? No? Chalo, I'll ask them to share it today. What all did we discuss yesterday? We discussed Indian foreign policy, how it evolved over time, what is foreign policy, what factors shape foreign policy, how India's foreign policy evolved, and then we discussed about India-Pakistan relations. We started. Fine. So, what did we write last? Where were we? We were discussing the challenges. Challenges in India-Pakistan relations. Yeah, we have to discuss it today. Fine. So, what do you think is, we discussed some challenges in India-Pakistan relations. What are some challenges? What can be some challenges? Come on, what was your name again? Rekha. And yours? Okay. So, what are some challenges in India-Pakistan relations? Come on, name some. Drug trafficking is there. Illegal migration is there. POK issue is always there. Terrorism issue is there. China-Pakistan nexus is there. What else? Trust deficit is there. Yes. So these are some issues which strain India-Pakistan relations a lot. And when you are writing in GS2, it is general studies. So you don't have to write some rocket science over there. These are the only issues which you have to write. Fine. When we are seeing India-Bangladesh relations, there also the issues will be drug trafficking, cow smuggling, giving safe havens to infiltrators. So these are the only issues which India has with majority of its bordering nations. Fine. Let us go a step further. What do you think are the issues between India and Afghanistan? They will also be very similar. 1-2 new challenges might be there. But with Afghanistan, India shares a border. Yes, India-Afghanistan share a 106 kilometer border. So there also, from that border, drugs are trafficked. Afghanistan is a big producer of opium. Fine, so drug is trafficked from there. Terrorists are trafficked from there. Terrorists are trained there sometimes. Fine. So these are the same issues: money laundering, human trafficking. All this is done from all bordering nations. Fine. So you have to remember a set of challenges and apply them to each and every country. Right? You don't have to remember 10 for Bangladesh, 10 for Pakistan, 10 from Afghanistan. Have 6 or 7 challenges which are applicable to all the countries and 1-2 specific challenges with each country. Fine? Chalo. So let us start with challenges. Please write down. Firstly, write down China-Pakistan nexus. China-Pakistan nexus. China's deepening ties. China's deepening ties, military cooperation. And CPEC investments. And CPEC investments give Islamabad or give Pakistan, yes please, give Pakistan significant backing, constraining India's regional space. Next point, use of proxy and asymmetric warfare. Use of proxy and asymmetric warfare. What do you understand by proxy warfare? We use the term proxy warfare here. See, one student will simply write terrorism, fine, but we will not write terrorism, we will write proxy warfare. And asymmetric warfare. So these terms you might find in international relations. Proxy word, what does it mean in general? Proxy, like, it is something indirectly fake, something like that, fake or indirect. The idea is, suppose, do you think Pakistan can directly face India in a war? No, and they know this. Fine. So what they do is they take proxies. Who are the proxies? Terrorists are the proxies. You must have heard about Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba. These are terrorist groups and they are supported by the state of Pakistan. ISI supports them. Why do they promote them? Because if they directly get involved with India, they will first of all lose, and on a global level it will establish Pakistan as a failed state. They are always in a fight. So they are like, we are not fighting, these people are fighting, and from the back door they are funding these terrorist groups. This is called proxy warfare. Directly you are not getting involved, you are using some third party to get involved on your behalf. So this is proxy warfare. And this is what you all wrote, proxy and asymmetric warfare. Asymmetric warfare is also this. What do you understand by symmetry? Equals on both sides. Yes. So India is a state, Pakistan is a state. If these two states fight, this is state, not state, national and state level state. It is the state, country. India fighting with Pakistan, there is a symmetry. But India fighting with terrorist groups, this is asymmetric warfare. They get involved in, now suppose there is a terrorist group based somewhere in Pakistan, let us say it is there in Islamabad, and India knows that Jaish-e-Mohammed has did the attack, Pahalgam attack, Jaish-e-Mohammed did, let us assume. Now do you think India will send its army, its air force, its navy to Islamabad to attack Jaish-e-Mohammed? It cannot send. It can use army, air force and everything if it is in a war with another country, if there is symmetry. India can use it against Pakistan, but for a terrorist group, you cannot directly get involved. You cannot just go and bomb Islamabad. A lot of civilians will be killed otherwise. So this is what Pakistan uses. They use these terrorist groups, asymmetric warfare, proxy warfare, because they know India can only do some things. What did India do after 2008 attacks? They basically hanged Kasab. Did they do anything with the organization? No, because they cannot. The number of terrorists they caught, they actually just hanged them. That is all you can do when there is proxy warfare. States are not getting involved themselves. This is a tactic Pakistan uses. Can India use nuclear weapons against these terrorists? No. But if it is Pakistan, India might threaten that we will use nuclear bomb. So this is why Pakistan resorts to terrorism. They have to fight India, but they cannot do it directly. So that is why they take the indirect route. Now you understand from where terrorism is being born. Why terrorism is being practiced by Pakistan only and not other countries. Because Pakistan wants to fight India but not directly. It cannot afford to fight directly. Please write down. Pakistan's, right in this point, use of proxy and asymmetric warfare only. Pakistan's military intelligence, which is called ISI, Pakistan military intelligence continues to sponsor cross-border terrorism, and proxy conflicts, particularly in Jammu and Kashmir. What does Pakistan get after carrying out a terrorist attack? Why do you think Pakistan does terrorist attacks on India? For example, we all know Pahalgam attacks happened. What did India actually lose there? What was India's loss over there? Can you think about it? What Pakistan achieved by killing some tourists over there? Why did Pakistan do that? Correct, makes sense. First of all, they want to establish that India is not a secure place. Terrorist attacks are happening there also. Fine. Secondly, you know, Jammu and Kashmir is currently, some part of Kashmir is with Pakistan. Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And then there is Indian, the whole Jammu and Kashmir which is under Indian occupation. Now this is progressing. Tourists are coming over there, railway tracks, infrastructure, everything is getting built over here. These people will always have a feeling of deprivation. Ki why are we not like them? Instead we should also join them. No. So this feeling, they are seeing this feeling. And they don't want this Kashmir also to slip out of their hands. So they will always try to restrict the growth of this Indian side of Kashmir. They want that this should always be unstable. Otherwise these people will also start moving here and they will not be able to control them. So they never will allow Jammu and Kashmir to progress. When tourism is getting there, they will create a blast. From last year, I think the tourism has dropped by 80%. Will you visit Kashmir or Pahalgam? There is always a sense of fear now. Earlier, it took decades for the government to establish Kashmir as a secure place. But one attack actually, just erased all the hard work we did. So that is why they do these attacks. That is why they attacked India, Taj of India in 2008. It was a symbolic gesture that India is not safe. Foreigners should not come to India. India is a failed state. They are not secure. So this is the message Pakistan wants the world to know. Because their image is non-secure. They also don't want India to progress. So that is why they resort to all this. Next point. Pakistan's influence in OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Pakistan influence in OIC, where it uses its Islamic identity to mobilize support against India, on issues like Kashmir. You remember CAA NRC protests were happening back in 2019. Anybody of you followed that? No. Okay, so there was this protest in Delhi, CAA NRC, Citizenship Amendment Act was coming. So a lot of people were protesting against it. Majorly, they were the Muslims of this country. Fine. So Pakistan somehow got involved. Pakistan went around the world saying India is anti-Muslim, see what it is doing. So the thing is, even if Indian Muslims have a problem with Indian government, we can sort it out. But they want to capture this opportunity and present India as an anti-Islamic country around the whole world. And then there is this OIC, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. They have to support them. So it is like 60 countries are now against India. So this is how they use their Islamic identity. Next, please write down. What are some other issues? Suspension of Indus Water Treaty. Suspension of Indus Water Treaty in the aftermath of Pahalgam attacks. Next challenge. Yesterday we discussed about Indus Water Treaty. Let us revise it once. What was Indus Water Treaty? Under Indus Water Treaty, there are 6 rivers in the Indus River system. The waters of 3 of them was allocated to Pakistan and 3 of them was allocated to India broadly. Fine. They were all passing through India only. India stopped the passage of water now. They said ki we will not allow water to enter Pakistan freely. We are giving you water, we are being generous, and in return you are doing terrorist attacks on us. So India suspended Indus Water Treaty. Your homework for today is read about Indus Water Treaty. Who brokered it? When was it done? Some provisions of it. Just read. Questions is not going to come directly, but you should have a basic idea. Yesterday I told you to read something. ASEAN, 10 ASEAN countries. Did anybody did a Google search? Just a Google search had to be done, 2-minute thing. No? Find out ASEAN countries today. What are the countries? When was ASEAN formed? We are going to discuss in detail ASEAN. Next challenge, please write down. Next challenge between India and Pakistan is Pakistan continues to provide safe havens to UN designated terrorists like Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar. Next, Sir Creek issue. Sir Creek issue. This is an issue which is very specific to India Pakistan. Please look here now. You see this map. This is India. This is Arabian Sea. This is Pakistan in orange. Fine. This strip, it is a 96 kilometer strip over here. This is called Sir Creek. Fine. This is totally divided into India's part. This is India's. This is Pakistan. But as far as Sir Creek is concerned, this is disputed. Which boundary separates India and Pakistan? Does that border have a name? Radcliffe Line? Fine. So when Radcliffe Line was drawn, no, so it was drawn here, but this island was left, non-divided. So this created an issue. Pakistan claims Sir Creek is ours, India claims Sir Creek is ours. So there is this Sir Creek issue over here. Fine. You just have to remember that India and Pakistan have a Sir Creek issue. Where is it? Near Arabian Sea. Theek? Please write down. It is a 96 kilometer strip. It is a 96 kilometer strip disputed between India and Pakistan. Near Run of Kutch. Next, write down Siachen issue. Have you heard about Siachen Glacier? Yes. Currently it is under control by whom? India or Pakistan? Siachen is controlled by India currently. So see, there is this glacier on top heights. This is the Siachen Glacier. This is Jammu Kashmir area. This is Pakistan occupied Kashmir. This is Aksai Chin of Pakistan. This is Aksai Chin. Aksai Chin is in control of China currently. Here, this little area was initially ungoverned. Nobody was actually over here. No army was here. People were living here. This was China. This was POK. Everything was sorted. Nobody was here. But then somehow what happened? Pakistan army tried to capture Siachen. And then when India realized that now they are capturing it, India sent their army and occupied Siachen Glacier in 1984. Since then, Siachen Glacier has been under Indian occupation. Many soldiers died for it. You know what are the weather conditions over here? It is somewhere around minus 40 degree every time. Fine. So even if you are drinking water, before coming into your mouth from the bottle, it freezes. So it has to be done very, it is very hostile conditions over there. But Indian army is there because they want to have Siachen Glacier. Why is Siachen Glacier so important? Minus 40 degree, army is over there. Why don't we just leave it alone? What do you think is the significance of such glaciers? Water is one thing, rivers may be one thing, but see, first of all, thing is territory. We cannot just give our territory. For example, if you have a land which produces nothing, will you just give it away? No, you want to take it. Secondly, Siachen Glacier is on top heights, so it gives a very big view of the land below it. So our army can sit over there and can map a very big area just sitting on that glacier at that height. Fine. So when there is security situation, heights are always important to guard. You must have seen some areas. Have any one of you been to army cantonments, Cant area? No. So army always has this big stand and one person is always standing there with guns, to monitor. Why? Because when you are at a height, you can guard a larger area. So that is what Siachen is to us. It is something about territorial integrity. In preamble, you must have come across this some integrity, unity and integrity of the nation. So Siachen Glacier is integral to us. Yesterday I was telling you about one area which is in POK but given to China by Pakistan. Yes, I told you CPEC, one corridor. So this is that area. This area is under POK but they gave it to China now. So now China is here. So India is surrounded by China from here and here. Siachen issue we have written. Please write down. Next issue, next some small issues. Regular ceasefire violation by Pakistan. Regular ceasefire violations by Pakistan on borders. On borders. Next, next please write down CPEC. CPEC. In bracket write down China Pakistan Economic Corridor. China Pakistan Economic Corridor. It passes from here. This is India's problem. Please write down. Please write down. CPEC passes through. CPEC passes through Gilgit-Baltistan, passes through Gilgit, Pakistan, in POK, which is a part of India. Which is a part of India. Next issue write down Kulbhushan Jadhav. Kulbhushan Jadhav issue. So Kulbhushan Jadhav was basically a retired Navy person, Indian Navy person, Kulbhushan Jadhav. What happened? After retirement, he was doing something in Iran. And he was arrested in Iran illegally and then he was transported to Pakistan. Pakistan says that he was an Indian spy who was spying on India. That is why we have captured him. India says he was not a spy, he was just an Indian Navy officer that you have captured. But since 2016, Kulbhushan Jadhav is in Pakistan's territory. He is a prisoner of Pakistan and they are treating him very brutally. India took this case to International Court of Justice Fine, there is an international court also, India took the case there, won also. Still Pakistan is not ready to release Kulbhushan Jadhav. They say that he was a spy and we are not going to release him. Fine. So this is a big controversy. India wants its citizen Kulbhushan Jadhav to be freed and they are not freeing him. So this is what Pakistan is doing. They are torturing him brutally. It has been like 10 years now and that person is not getting released. So this is the Kulbhushan Jadhav case. Please write down in short. You can look into the details of it by yourself. Kulbhushan Jadhav, in brackets, Indian Navy officer. Kulbhushan Jadhav, Indian Navy officer, was arrested by Pakistani authorities in 2016. And Pakistan claims him to be an Indian spy. So these are some issues between India and Pakistan. Apart from them, there are always these general issues which you will write. Just write them here. Other issues, just write other issues. Drug trafficking, especially through Punjab. Drug trafficking, especially through Punjab. Human trafficking. Smuggling. Counterfeit currency notes. Drone espionage. Etc. Fine, next write the heading way forward. What should we do as far as Pakistan is concerned? How do we deal with it? So how do you think we should deal with Pakistan? What are the solutions? You are upcoming officers. Give me some solution. How do you think we should deal with Pakistan? I am not saying it has to be correct, but this is the situation. These are the challenges. What do you think India should do? How to deal with Pakistan? Currently, what India is doing, does India involve in trade with Pakistan? No, it has suspended all trade now. After Pahalgam attacks, no trade. Are they talking to Pakistan much? No, because this government is following a policy that talks and terrorism cannot go together. You stop terrorism, then only we will come on the talking table. Otherwise, we will not even talk to you. So, do you think this? Okay, I'll tell you. One of my friend was attending UPSC interviews. Fine, I think it was back in 2020. There was this person who was the main interviewer over there. He was some big officer, retired, and he was heading the Kashmir division of India from last 20 years. So he basically asked him a question. He said, if you were the decision making authority as far as Kashmir is concerned, will you talk to Pakistan? Will you continue with the policy of no talking to Pakistan until terrorism is contained? Or you will have a hotline with Pakistan's PM. What is a hotline? Hotline is essentially a telephone which you just pick up and it will directly ring on Pakistan's PM. There is no waiting, nothing. Fine. So basically one idea was do not talk to Pakistan at all, and other idea was you can talk to him anytime. What do you think? What will you suggest? He was scared. He was just an aspirant, first time facing interview. He told me I didn't understand what to give an answer to somebody who has been sitting there for 20 years. Fine. But this was asked to him. Now I am asking the same question to you. What do you think should be India's approach? Should we talk or should we just don't talk? No answer is wrong. Okay, we can talk. There is one approach we will say we'll talk, other approach we will not talk. But you have to tell me why. Take any side, it does not matter what you say. Always have some logic behind it. If you are saying we will not talk, why will you not talk? How will it help us? And if you say we will talk, how will that help us? Just give me some reason. See, in UPSC, these points anybody can write. You just should know how to think. How can you expand? How can you build upon your thoughts? Give solutions. That is all we have to do. So what do you think? I mean, you are saying, if I am understanding correctly, there should be a channel for talk, and then from that channel we should push them to stop their smuggling and all those activities. Okay. But India had been trying it since 1947, it was not working. So that is why currently what we are trying is, we are trying to isolate Pakistan. We are saying we will not do any trade with you. We will not give you waters from Indus. We will tell you how much dependent you are on us. If you know, Pakistan is not a very agricultural rich country. So a lot of their wheat imports, rice imports were done from India only. And India is a neighboring country of Pakistan. So the logistics cost between India and Pakistan was very less. But when India said that we will not export any agriculture product anymore, now they have to import from somewhere else. And the wheat which they were getting for suppose 100 rupees, now it is costing them 130 rupees. So India is now taking that approach. We will tell you what we can do. We will not talk, but we will make you bleed. We will make you come to us and say we are sorry. Fine. So that is one approach. When your kid is not behaving properly, one approach is making him understand with love, teaching him how to behave. And the second approach is taking a hard stand, slapping him. Fine. Unless you fix this, we are not going to talk to you. So now India is trying that. And why India is trying that? Because they want Pakistan to understand that how important we are. If we stop giving you water, if we stop giving you agricultural things, if we stop giving you food, then you will not be able to survive. We can isolate you. And India's power is rising. Fine. What happened? India also did one thing. There is an organization. Please write this organization's name. You have to search about it and have basic facts about it in a box. I can make you write, but I want you to go and research. That is why it will be retained. FATF, Financial Action Task Force. Fine. This is Financial Action Task Force. So India basically lobbied a lot, and they blacklisted Pakistan. India used its powers and blacklisted Pakistan. What happened when they blacklisted Pakistan? Pakistan was not able to freely trade with a lot of countries. A lot of sanctions were put on Pakistan. It was said that nobody will now trade with Pakistan as freely as they used to. You have to take permission. So what India was essentially trying to do? India was trying to tell you that if we want, we can get you on your knees. So behave properly. So India used this mechanism also. Fine. If you see India's approach towards Pakistan, after 2008 attacks, you remember the Mumbai attacks? India executed Kasab, or basically hanged it after giving him a proper judicial chance and everything. But did India retaliate with any attacks on Pakistan back then? No. But when we enter the phase 5 of Indian foreign policy, we discussed yesterday, Modi era. There you will see, after Uri attacks, what we did? Surgical strikes. You remember? Indian army actually went into Pakistan, killed some people over there, the terrorists over there. Then there were attacks. What were the attacks? After which we did Balakot strikes. So whenever Pakistan is trying to do anything, we are now responding with our army, our air force. When they did Pahalgam, we did Operation Sindhu. Now we are trying to give them a message that your actions will come with consequences. If any terrorist group attacks Indian people, we are going to get into your territory and attack. We will not hold back. What does it create? Will it create a deterrence? Now Pakistan will think twice before attacking India because they know India is going to come back harder. So we have to be ready for their attack. So that is why India has changed this approach. Now India is retaliating. Now India is not letting Pakistan say, okay fine, don't do it from next time. Not this approach anymore. India is using a very stern approach towards Pakistan. Fine. One more thing, just write down that you have to see, Google. India is following something called the Doval Doctrine. Please read about Doval Doctrine. If you don't understand, I will explain to you tomorrow. Doval Doctrine. You will come across a term here, defensive offense. We will discuss it tomorrow. And if I forget, you remind me. Fine. Who is Doval? You know who is Doval? Mr. Ajit Doval. He is the National Security Advisor of India currently. Fine. And he is basically guiding how India is dealing with Pakistan. How India has to deal. He actually brought this change that we will attack Pakistan if they attack us. We will not hold back. This is what is called Doval Doctrine. Fine. In your answers, if you use Doval Doctrine, it will give you like half or 1 mark extra. So these are some terms that I am introducing you to. Read upon them and then we will discuss again. Yes, in Dhurandhar also they showed a lot of Doval. Because for security situations he is the main person. He is the National Security Advisor. Next. So as far as this is concerned, way forward is concerned, I have given certain points over here. What is the way forward of dealing with Pakistan? First of all, India must recognize that Pakistan cannot be dismissed. You cannot just dismiss Pakistan. You have to manage it. You understand the difference between dismiss and manage? One is we don't care, it doesn't exist, but it exists. It is a problem. The first step to deal with the problem is to accept that there is a problem. Pakistan is a problem and we have to manage it with clarity, composure and consistency. Firstly. Next, strengthening regional alternatives. For example, try to bypass Pakistan as much as you can. Have good relationship with Afghanistan, have good relationship with Iran, have good relationship with Bangladesh, so that you are not very dependent on Pakistan. Fine. So bypass Pakistan. Pakistan is not as important to us, we will directly talk to Afghanistan. How are the relations between Afghanistan and Pakistan? See, IR is a very interrelated subject. How India's relationship with Pakistan also depends on Afghanistan, also depends on Iran and USA. So can anybody tell me how is Pakistan's relationship with Afghanistan? Yes, they are also not good. Fine. I'll tell you something interesting. Have you heard about Kautilya? Chanakya? Yeah, same person. Fine. So basically Kautilya had a Mandal Siddhant. This is ancient Indian wisdom. Mandal Siddhant of Kautilya. Basically what he said that your neighbor will always be your enemy, no matter what you do. India and Pakistan will always be enemies because there is a common land between them and they will always fight in that land. So neighbors will always be enemies. However, neighbor's neighbor will always be a friend. Now you are getting it? For example, India, China will always be enemies, but China shares a border with Russia. So India, Russia will always be friends. This is coming from traditional wisdom of Chanakya. India, Pakistan will always be enemies, but it shares a border with Iran. So India, Iran will always be friends. So this is what is traditional Indian wisdom. Fine. India, Afghanistan will always be friends. Though India shares a small border with Afghanistan, but Afghanistan, Pakistan have a very big problem, land problem. So basically Pakistan is the enemy of India, Pakistan is the enemy of Afghanistan. So that makes India and Afghanistan friends by itself. You know na, enemy's enemy is a good friend. Yes, so that logic is being applied here also. So think, you can think this way also. Fine? This will be shared with you. Now, a big challenge between India-Pakistan relations is the China-Pakistan nexus. They actually behave as a team. How do you counter it? How can you counter it? You can also partner with some strong nation. You maybe get close to USA, that is one option. You get close to Japan, you get close to Israel, you get close to Russia. You also need a big partner like Pakistan has China. You also need some partner. US will not support you directly in Pakistan, but maybe Russia can, maybe Israel can. So you also need to have friends. For example, India and Pakistan are fighting. Just assume it like this. India and Pakistan are fighting. Pakistan is a weak country, but it has 10 very strong friends. Now how do you fight it? You also get 10 strong friends, so that the fight can be equal. So that is why you also counter it by building your own alliances. So this is one option. Then expanding soft power. Make a box and write soft power. You know what is power? What is power? Power is your ability to get things done. Fine. But when you are reading international relations, power is of many types. What are different types of power? Firstly, there is hard power. What is hard power? Bombs, military, planes, and destruction. How many army size, air force, everything. This is hard power, military power. Then there comes soft power. What is soft power? Negotiations. Okay. What else? Acha, tell me one thing. If 10 people come in this room with guns, ask you to leave, will you leave? You will not leave. They ask you, leave, you will leave? Of course you will leave. Fine, you will say, whatever happens, I am leaving. That is hard power. But if Mukesh Ambani comes, will you stand up? Suddenly, if PM Narendra Modi comes, will you stand up? If he asks you to leave, again you will leave. Now why did you leave? You were not threatened. But he had a soft power. What is soft power? Power which is yielded without threat of killing. Soft power is power of legitimacy. For example, soft power is something which is economic power. It can be economic power also. It can be yoga. India is deriving soft power from its culture now these days. Do you see India promoting yoga a lot? India has actually declared an International Yoga Day. When is International Yoga Day? 21st June? Fine. So why is India promoting yoga so much? Ayurveda so much? Because what they do, they establish India. They say that yoga originated in India. Ayurveda originated in India. Everything is originating in India. So that is giving India a sense of leadership, a sense of soft power. That is what is called soft power. When you go outside and make a speech, what do you say? Ki India is a land where so many religions were born. We are a country of 150 crore people. We are economically so powerful. So these are all soft power things. Economics, geography, population, diaspora, culture, yoga, religion, Bollywood. Do you think Shah Rukh Khan has some influence in the world? Yes, soft power. India tries, what is Gandhi? Why India always projects Gandhi? If Barack Obama visiting India, they take them to Gandhi. Smarak. There is in Delhi. If Donald Trump is coming, no matter BJP aligns with his ideology or not. Basically, they are not the same party. They are fighting Congress, but whenever Donald Trump comes, they take him to Gandhi Samadhi. Why Gandhi? Principles of Gandhi, and they establish India's soft power. Ki Gandhi was our guy. Fine. If you go against India, you are going against Gandhi. Remember Gandhi. So that is soft power. That is the idea which captures your mind. Capturing mind is one thing, capturing territory is one thing. You can capture territory by hard power, but you gain legitimacy by soft power. Understand what is soft power? This is soft power. Bollywood it is. Cuisine, food, everything. Culture. So please write down. We'll write. Soft power is a nation's ability Soft power is a nation's ability to influence international outcomes, through attraction or persuasion. Is ethics done? Ethics is not done. Through attraction and persuasion rather than military power. It has three key pillars. First, appealing culture. Second, democratic values. And third is legitimate and moral foreign policies. Yesterday we discussed NAM, you remember? Non-aligned movement. One group was USA, one group was USSR. Both had a lot of military power, hard power. India emerged as the third power. And I told you a lot of smaller nations followed India. Why? Because of hard power or soft power? Soft power. That legitimacy. Moral foreign policy, as we wrote. People follow you for your morality. He is a good person. Not he is a strong person. So that is soft power. So now, yesterday also we discussed, when we have to counter China, fine. For example, there is a developmental project in Africa. India and China are both trying to get that project. Now China has a lot of economic power. They have a lot of military power also. Fine, and India will never be able to compete. At least now it is not able to compete. Never say never, but right now India is not able to compete. So what do they use? They use this soft power. Yesterday I told you India included African Union in G20. They helped them become a member of G20. Why? Because now they will tell, see, we helped you that time, no? So be our friend now. Give us the project. Soft power. That is why. Remember Gujarat doctrine? Help your neighbors, do not expect anything. Why are we not expecting? Because it is building our soft power. Later someday, when China comes with a bigger offer, we will remind them, remember 10 years ago when you were in need, I was the one standing for you. And now you will just go there for money. Sign? And then they'll come here. So that is how you build soft power. That is Gujarat doctrine. Now, is it relating somewhere? Any doubts, ma'am? Fine. So expanding soft power and economic leverage. Promote India's image as a stable, responsible power compared to Pakistan. Whole image of Pakistan is of an irresponsible nation. Project India's image as a responsible power. Counter Pakistan. Better intelligence and security preparedness should be there. We should get information if an attack is going to happen. That is the task of intelligence. Whenever terrorist attacks happen, Pahalgam happened, do you think somewhere it was a failure on India's behalf also? The whole point of having an intelligence, raw, IB, International Bureau is there, Indian Army is there, so many polices are there, is not just to counter attack when it's done, it is to prevent attacks also. How can people from Pakistan enter India's border, kill people in Pahalgam and move out? It is somewhere a failure on India's part also. So we need better intelligence systems. Better intelligence gathering should be there. You know what is intelligence? I'm assuming. Each country has some spies, some people over there which provided information. Sometimes non-officially also your messages are tracked. What you are doing on social media, it is tracked. It is tracked why? Because if you are posting a lot of radicalized content, we should just kill the Prime Minister, we should kill that, try posting that on your social media for 10 days. On the 11th day they will take you because you have become a threat. Fine. So that is intelligence. Preempting an attack before it happens and stopping it. That is intelligence. Write a conclusion. I will make you write a conclusion. India must engage with Pakistan with cool-headed, clear-eyed realism. Now you know what is realism? Clear-eyed realism, balancing deterrence with diplomacy. Balancing deterrence with diplomacy. Balancing deterrence with diplomacy. For India, the goal should not be to isolate Pakistan entirely, but to neutralize its disruptive potential, while strengthening its own regional and global standing. We wrote a word over here, a new word, which is deterrence. Please make a box and write deterrence. I will make you write deterrence. It is also a big concept of international relations. Can anybody tell me what is deterrence? What was your name again? Pavni. Deterrence? Any idea what is deterrence? Speak up if you have, don't worry. Maximum you can say wrong, what will happen? Wanna try? No? Deterrence? No, deterrence. Okay. Chalo, try, come on. No harm in trying. Okay, I'll explain. See, what is deterrence? It is a big concept. Have to understand. Deterrence basically means deterring a person from taking an action. I convince you not to do something, because if you do that, then the reaction from my side will be even heavier. For example, now India did Operation Sindoor, Pakistan did Pahalgam, India did Operation Sindhu. Fine. Now, do you think next time Pakistan tries to do a terrorist attack, it will stop itself because it knows that if we do a terrorist attack, India is going to do a bigger attack on us? Yes. So that will stop Pakistan. This is what is deterrence. Basically, it is a mind game. What is the mind game? That if I do this, the other person will do a lot more damage to me. So I will not do this itself. Understand? For example, I'll again tell you. India has nuclear weapons, correct? India has nuclear weapons. Has India ever used nuclear weapons? Has India used, in battle against any country? Have we used it? No, we have not used it. We have just kept them. Why? If we are not supposed to use them, why are we investing so much on nuclear weapons? Because it creates deterrence. What deterrence? Every country knows that if we attack India, India has nuclear weapons. They can any day use their nuclear weapons on us. So let us not attack India. You understand what I am saying? So that is deterrence, creating deterrence. Deterrence is basically convincing the other person that if you take a particular action, then the cost of that action will outweigh the benefits of that action. You will not get anything by attacking India, rather you will get destroyed if you attack India, because India will give such a big retaliation. Are you able to connect? Any doubts you can ask, I can give 10 more examples. No? Please write down. Deterrence. Important concept, never forget this one. You try to use it in your answers. Deterrence is a strategy. Deterrence is a strategy that prevents an adversary from taking hostile actions by convincing them that costs of taking that action will outweigh any potential benefits. Yes, it's kind of fairness only. But the vocabulary of IR will call it deterrence. So use the term deterrence, but for your understanding you can say it fairness also. North Korea is a rogue nation, listens to nobody, does whatever it wants. It is a dictatorship, no rights for women, nothing. But still, when Trump goes there, he meets very peacefully. Why? Because deterrence. They know if we attack there, they will go all out, they will just attack. So there is a deterrence. Let us not, just get engaged with North Korea. They are not a stable thing. So that is deterrence. People don't get involved. Earlier, India was not having this deterrence. 2008 attacks happened. India did nothing. Do you think it will create any deterrence? No. The other person knows. For example, understand deterrence. If there is one person, there are two people. You go and slap one person. He does nothing. Fine. So will you continue slapping him whenever you want? Yes. You will I will take my frustration on this person whenever I want, because he has no deterrence. But then there is one more person. You try the same strategy on that person. You slap him once, he slaps you 15 times. Now next time, before slapping that person, will you think twice? Yes. And might be you will not slap him, because you know that the costs will outweigh the benefits. I will give one slap, he will give 15. So I will not engage in that action. This is deterrence. Fine? Now it makes sense? Please write down India-Afghanistan relations. India-Afghanistan relations now. India, Afghanistan. India has a border with Afghanistan? Always yes. Fine. That area is not under India's control right now. But still, you will always say that India shares a border because we assume POK is our territory. Fine. So very small border with Afghanistan. Afghanistan shares a border with Pakistan also. Afghanistan shares a border with Iran also. Turkmenistan also. Uzbekistan, Tajikistan. Remember? And that is why it is often known as gateway to Central Asia. These countries are Central Asian countries. Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, all these stans are Central Asian countries. And Afghanistan is the root. Fine. So if India somehow has good relations with Afghanistan, then Afghanistan ke through we can actually have better connectivity with Central Asia. These are these countries also. But if we have a bad relationship with Afghanistan, then we will never have access to these countries. Is Afghanistan a landlocked country? What is a landlocked country? Which has no access to ports or sea? Yes, Afghanistan is a landlocked country. Pakistan is a landlocked country? No. So Afghanistan has some dependency on Pakistan also. Sometimes it uses Iran, sometimes it uses Pakistan. So that is why Afghanistan has some dependency on Pakistan also. So you have to understand this. Afghanistan, Pakistan cannot just break all relationships. Otherwise Afghanistan will suffer. Afghanistan needs Pakistan for port access. Okay, fine. So let us understand how are relations between India and Afghanistan. How are the relations? Good relationships. See, relationships are done on two levels. First of all, relationship is between government and government. Fine. And the other type of relationship is P2P. What is P2P? People to people. From what I understand, you people hate Pakistanis. Fine. If you Indians generally, majority might just say we don't like Pakistanis. But we don't share this same emotion for Afghanistanis. Somewhere India likes Afghanistan people. So people to people, if you ever happen to visit Afghanistan, you will see Afghanistan people love Indians. They feel like Indians are our brothers. So that kind of bond India and Afghanistan people share with each other. So P2P relations are very good. Afghanistan has a lot of goodwill for India and India also. You know, Afghanistan has a cricket team. There is a player Rashid Khan and all these are players. So India actually provides them grounds for practice. It involves them in IPL and everything. And when there is a match between India and Pakistan and India wins, then Afghanistans are the ones who are celebrating on India's behalf. Why? Because there is a common enemy. Remember Chanakya? This is the common enemy, and that is why India and Afghanistan share a very good relationship. They are like, we are good people, this person is bad. Fine. But on government to government level, P2P relationship is very good. But on government to government level, actually what is the problem? India always supports democracy, that we all know by now. But right now in Afghanistan, is there a democratic government? Or there is Taliban? Taliban is actually no rights for women, violence, no elections. Fine. So this Taliban government, officially, India has not recognized Taliban. India has officially not recognized Taliban. We say that we don't think that Taliban is a legitimate government over there. In fact, in the entire world, there is only one country which has said that we recognize Taliban as the government. What is this recognize? What is this? For example, currently I am the teacher here. Fine. If you all say that we don't even think he is a teacher, and we are not going to accept him as our teacher. He can teach whatever he wants, but we will never attend his classes, we will never give him the respect, we will not engage with him. Fine, that is recognition. So no nation except one has recognized Taliban. What is recognition? Do you know India has embassies in other nations? What is embassies? Foreign offices. IFS officers are posted there. India has a non-functional embassy in Taliban as of now. No Indian is there. Only one country has recognized Taliban, and that country is, anybody? Russia. Only Russia has said we recognize Taliban. We don't care what anybody else says. But others are not doing it. Fine. So Taliban is seeking validation. Taliban wants to get recognized. If you are not recognized, you are not a member of UN. You are not a member of WHO. You are not a member of anything, because only recognized countries can be members. Taliban is suffering from this currently. Why India is not recognizing? Because then the questions will be asked to India. Ki how are you recognizing some country which gives no rights to women, which you know how Taliban came into power? Basically, there was a democratic government. There was a democratic government operating in Afghanistan. India had very good relations with him. India built dams. There is a dam called Salma Dam. India built it for Afghanistan. Afghanistan's parliament was built by India. India was contributing a lot for them. Why were we doing this? Why were we doing so much for Afghanistan? Gujarat Doctrine? Soft power? We wanted to do a lot for Afghanistan. We had so much investment. Dams we were doing, parliament we were doing, everything we were doing for this democratic government. But some people, these Talibani people, got arms, occupied this. For example, today there is a protest going on in Delhi, correct? Fine. But currently the government is still a democratic government, BJP government, came by election. Suppose tomorrow all those people protesting take up arms, just a hypothetical scenario, and they start shooting whoever gets in their way, and they somehow enter parliament, kill everybody, take power in their own hand. Do you think it will be a legitimate government then? No. You will say that this is not the way, this is not how you take power. That is exactly what happened with Taliban. Taliban entered, killed everybody, and took power in their own hands. So that is why the entire world has not recognized them. People say that no, you are an illegitimate government, you are not democratically elected. So this is the problem. Only one country has accepted, Russia. This is the problem with Taliban, and that is why India is also not engaging. Right? So this is the current situation which I want to tell you. Any doubts still here? So on P2P level, people to people, very good relationship. But on G2G level, government to government level, backdoors the relationship is very good. Both hate Pakistan. But formally, we have not recognized each other. But we have not recognized Taliban. Acha, how have been the relations historically between India and Afghanistan? Historically, any idea? Yes, ma'am? Civilizational, yes. So we had a connect. Afghanistan was, if you go back in time, Afghanistan route, yes. Basically, he came from Turkmenistan essentially. But have you read about Kushans? History is done. Have you read about Kushan era? So Kushans were basically inhabitants of Afghanistan. Buddhism, a lot of Buddhist people were in Afghanistan. There was this very famous statue, Bamiyan Buddha, in Afghanistan. When Taliban came into power, they destroyed it with a bomb. They were like, no, only Islam will be there, no Buddha will be there. So they destroyed it. Fine. This is not the first time Taliban has came into play. There was Taliban 1.0. Democracy was running, everything was fine. But what happened? These Talibani people, Taliban is essentially a militant group. They took power firstly in 1996. Then they destroyed this Bamiyan Buddha, everything. They were removed and democracy was again established, I think somewhere around in 2001. From 2001 to 2022, this democracy continued, and then in 2022, again Taliban came, and now it is known as Taliban 2.0. Right? Historically, we had very good relations. Afghanistan was a part of India only. Acha, which line separates India and Afghanistan? Durand line. Fine. Correct. So historically, India and Afghanistan have been close. There was a Silk route from which trade used to happen from India to Europe and everywhere. That used to pass from Afghanistan. Kushans were inhabitants of Afghanistan. In fact, Buddhism was very powerful in Afghanistan. So a lot of these structural factors we had. That is why there is this goodwill. Afghani people, Indian people have been always connected with civilizational ties. Any doubts? So historically, if you see, there are civilizational links, Silk routes were there, Buddhists were there, Indo-Greeks and Kushan era ke connections still exist. What else? In the 2021, okay, wait. When 1950, when India and Afghanistan both got their independence, they've signed a treaty of friendship. Formally, it was recognized that India and Afghanistan will continue to be friends. Then in Cold War, remember Cold War? Yesterday we discussed. Afghanistan was on side of USSR. And in India also after 1971 was tilted towards USSR. So both were in team of USSR, and that is why India Afghanistan had good links. Both were backed by USSR only. Then Taliban 1.0 came in 1996, I already told you. At that point also, when Taliban came, militants came, India broke all ties. India said, we will not talk to these people who only talk with the barrel of the gun. We want to talk to a democratic government. Fine, and I already told you, India built the Afghan parliament, Salma Dam, Zaranj Dilaram highway, all these infrastructure projects India did for Afghanistan. Why did we do that? To build our soft power. I told you we have very good people to people relations. Why are the relations so good? Because people remember that it was India which built this dam. When COVID struck, India sent, I think, somewhere around 40 ambulances to Afghanistan to help Afghan people. Fine. There were doctors which were sent from India. India needed doctors, but we helped our Afghanistan brothers. So India always wanted to help Afghanistan, and Afghanistan people remember. Fine. The governments might change, but people remember. For example, we remember Russia, no? When Russia helped us. Fine. The governments might change. Today it is Congress, tomorrow it is BJP or XYZ, we don't care. But as people, we always know that Russia helped us. So similarly, Afghanistan has that goodwill for India. Any doubts till now? No? Fine. So after the 2021 takeover, India evacuated its embassy staff, period of ambiguity and minimal engagement. We were essentially not talking to Afghanistan now. But after that, 2022 onwards, can you keep no talking to Afghanistan? It is a neighboring country. You share borders with it. It is important for you. So India has not given official recognition, but it has opened a small technical mission. Some people are sitting there. They are discussing trade, medical and humanitarian assistance. Recently, the foreign minister of Taliban visited India also. Fine. So now India is increasing its engagement. Russia had recognized it, it is dealing. Now India has also started. You have to accept that now Taliban is here to stay. And if it is here to stay, you have to talk to it. It is a neighbor. You have to talk to your neighbor. So now India is actually, its foreign minister Muttaqi visited India in October 2025. Any doubts still here? Why is it important for India to talk to Afghanistan? Why is it important? What do you think will happen if we don't talk to Afghanistan? Yes. If we don't talk, maybe Pakistan will talk. And if Afghanistan develops good links with Pakistan, then it is a bigger problem for India. So rather than taking a moral stand, ki no, we will not talk to these people, talk to them. Have a good relationship with Taliban. Whoever is in power, you need to have a good relationship. Even if it is Taliban, even if it is democracy, we don't care. As India, what is our national interest? Our national interest is having good relationship with Afghanistan, so that it does not fall into the hands of Pakistan or China. You understand? Yesterday we discussed national interest. Our national interest is having a good relationship with Afghanistan, and that is what India is doing now. Any doubts still here? Now please write down significance of Afghanistan for India. Significance of Afghanistan for India. What is the significance? Firstly, write down, it is a gateway to Central Asia. I already showed you. It is a gateway to Central Asia, in bracket write down, which is very energy rich. Which is very energy rich. Bracket close. It is gateway to Central Asia, bypassing Pakistan. Bypassing Pakistan. Second point. Countering Pakistan's influence. By having a stable Afghanistan. By having a stable Afghanistan. Next. Chabahar port connectivity. Chabahar. Chabahar port connectivity. Please write down India's investment in Iran's Chabahar port. India's investments in Iran Chabahar port facilitates trade with Afghanistan. Bypassing Pakistan. These 3 points, we have written 3 points, right? Take a bracket and write, this is geostrategic significance. Geostrategic significance. These 3 points come under geostrategic significance. What is geostrategic? Geography based strategy. What is our strategy? Bypassing Pakistan. Now I will show you what did we just say. Please focus here. Please have a look at this map. Now India shares a border with Afghanistan, very clear. But if you talk practically, do we share a border or it is occupied with this by these? China has occupied that border. So directly India cannot connect with Afghanistan because the connectivity is through POK. Fine. So India cannot directly go to Afghanistan now. There is a way, but that way is occupied by Pakistan. So now India wants another way. Now what is the way? This is the way. If we reach Iran, can we reach Afghanistan? Yes, through Arabian Sea, India can reach Iran. Through Iran, we can enter Afghanistan, and through Afghanistan, we have the connectivity to Central Asia, these countries. So we are essentially bypassing Pakistan. How do we reach Iran? Now see, this is India, this is the Kandla port. In which state is the Kandla port there? Gujarat. So India has a Kandla port. From Kandla port, what we are doing is, there is another port which India is developing in Iran, which is called the Chabahar port. You just now wrote. So now, if we connect to Chabahar port, and from Chabahar port we can build a road. We can build a road which is connecting to this area is Afghanistan. And then India has built this Zaranj-Delaram highway also. India is building this. We have built this. So from there we actually have a connectivity now. From Iran we have entered Afghanistan, and from Afghanistan now we can move into Central Asia. Did we bypass Pakistan? Yes. No. Otherwise we would have to go through Pakistan. Now we are directly going through Iran. We have bypassed this. That was the geostrategic significance. That is why Afghanistan is important. It is reducing our dependency on Pakistan. That is why we need to have good relations with Afghanistan. If we have bad relations with Afghanistan, Pakistan, we will not have any way for Central Asia. You understand? Next, write down. We were writing significance, geostrategic significance we wrote. Next, write down regional security. Regional security. Is Afghanistan important for our regional security also? Correct, definitely. Please write down. Afghanistan's stability directly impacts India's security. Afghanistan's stability directly impacts India's security, especially cross-border terrorism, and groups like Haqqani network. Next point. Having good relationship with Afghanistan prevents Taliban from falling into the hands of Pakistan or China. Next, write down economic significance. There is also economic significance of Afghanistan. Economic significance. Afghanistan has rich reserves. Of lithium, copper, and rare earth minerals. Where is lithium used these days? It is a lot in demand. Batteries, EVs? Correct. Fine. So that is the significance of Afghanistan for us. It is very significant. Strategically, economically, politically, Afghanistan is important. Now you should know some things. What are the areas of engagement between India and Afghanistan? More important from prelims point of view. Recently I told you name of an highway. Zaranj-Delaram highway. Should I show it again or you remember? The highway which was there. Salma Dam, built by India. Afghan Parliament building, built by India. Healthcare, hospitals, built by India. Fine. Training to thousands of Afghan students, civil servants. This is again been given by India. So this is what India is doing. And now you understand the logic why India is doing it. I explained to you. Soft power. Gujarat doctrine. This will be shared with you, don't worry. Then, what else is India doing? Air freight corridor. What is freight corridor? Goods need to travel. For example, Afghanistan produces a lot of apples. India produces a lot of apples, and apples are perishable goods. If it takes 10 days, they will get spoiled. So there is air flight corridor. By air we sent it. Chabahar port, I explained. What else? Chabahar port India is building, and that road India is building and everything. So India wants it to its own benefits, but Afghanistan will also benefit from it. India trains Afghanistan security forces. India trains Afghanistan's cricket team. Fine. So we are doing a lot of things. Crisis support. India provided food grains and COVID-19 vaccines to it. Fine. So this is what India is doing for Afghanistan. Why? Because India wants Afghanistan to be his friend. Now, we already wrote a lot about significance. Let us relook. What is the significance of Afghanistan? It is a strategic counter to Pakistan. See, when you are writing answers, in this class you will have all the understanding, but by writing you will have that vocabulary. Strategic, okay. Counter, Pakistan. You can simply say friend of Afghanistan is good for India, aise nahi. You have to write strategic counter to Pakistan. Fine. Provides access to Central Asia through Chabahar port. One thing, please write down. Today's homework. Please just look these 3-4 things which I am giving you. Look up INSTC. Look up INSTC. International North-South Transport Corridor. Tomorrow we will discuss this. Counter-terrorism, Afghanistan is important, 100%. Economic potential, has a lot of lithium, copper, I already told you. So Afghanistan has a lot of minerals, rare earth minerals, everything, but it does not have the technology to extract them. So that is where India enters. We will bring our companies, they will extract lithium, 70% we will take, 30% we will give you. So Afghanistan also benefits, India also benefits. What else is the significance of Afghanistan? Trade and connectivity is there. Delhi Kabul flight is running. Amritsar is running. It counters China Pakistan axis also. We discussed this also. India is developing its soft power. How is it developing soft power? By giving scholarship to Afghan students in India. I told you we sent a lot of wheat over there. Continued medical aid over there. Fine, and there is certain goodwill among the Afghan people. Any doubts still here? Now something is written over here which we have to see. Why? One more significance. A stable non-hostile Afghanistan reduces spillover of instability, refugee flows and drug trafficking through Golden Crescent. What is Golden Crescent? Yes. Correct. 100% correct. So if you see, what is a crescent? Crescent is something like, I don't have a good art ability, and this is not a crescent. You know that there is crescent moon. Fine. So this is a crescent. What is a crescent? In crescent, assume this is Afghanistan, this is Pakistan, and this is Pakistan. These three countries. So these three countries are major opium producing regions. Major opium producing countries. And from here a lot of opium is produced, and where is it smuggled? It is smuggled to India. This is called Golden Crescent. These people produce a lot of opium and they need to sell it somewhere, they sell it to India, and in India it enters to Punjab. You know, Punjab has a big drug problem now. Any one of you has been to Punjab? No. Punjab has a very big drug problem. A lot of young people over there are taking a lot of drugs. They are injecting themselves with some kind of injections, cocaine, heroin, everything. Very prevalent. kids of 12 years of age, 11 years of age, they are addicted. We don't even understand what is it doing to them. We are losing young people over there like crazy, and Pakistan is just, you know, trying to infuse as much this opium as possible. It destroys India's youth, it destroys India's economy, and it destroys India's politics also. So this is the golden crescent. Now while we are discussing golden crescent, let me tell you something else. If this is the map, somewhat the map of India, here we discuss the golden crescent, right? Which three countries? Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran was there. So from here drugs is coming into India, but here there is something called the golden triangle. From here also a lot of drugs is coming from northeast India. So there are two ways from which drugs is coming. Here also there are three countries: Myanmar, Thailand, and sure. Please write down. You have written golden crescent. Write down golden triangle. It is a group of three countries. It is a group of three countries in India's east. It is a group of three countries in India's east, namely Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. This is also heavily involved in drug trafficking to India. यहाँ से भी there is a lot of drugs coming to India. यहाँ से there is a lot of drugs coming to India. So golden triangle and golden crescent. So now having a good relationship with Afghanistan is important. Why? To stop drug trafficking. Otherwise there is already a lot of drugs entering through Pakistan. If Afghanistan also starts to contribute, that drug will double. Fine. So we need to have a good relationship with Afghanistan. Any doubt still here? Now please write down challenges in India-Afghanistan relationship. Some challenges in India-Afghanistan relationship. Based on our understanding, you are going to tell me what are the challenges, and I am going to write them. What do you think are the challenges between India and Afghanistan? Drug trafficking. Drug trafficking, correct? Yes. Somebody else now. One challenge. We have discussed so much. Come on, Rekha. Some challenge. Money laundering is there, human trafficking is there. Some specific India-Afghanistan challenges. Recognition. Has India recognized Taliban yet? No. So recognition issue is there. Taliban says recognize me, but India is not able to. If India recognizes Taliban, it will create other issues for India. So recognition problem is there. We don't have official relationship with them. No embassy over there. That is a problem. What else is the problem? The gender apartheid, or the gender bias which the Taliban government is doing. It is not allowing women to even talk, come on TV, get educated. So that is creating a blocker for India to have a good relationship with Afghanistan. They cannot have a good relationship. If Jaishankar starts to meet Afghanistani people very happily, Indians will stand up and say, how can you talk to such people also? Gender problem is there. Many people who are in Taliban government, now Taliban is in power, many people are there, they are designated terrorists. Terrorists as per UN. So India cannot engage with terrorists. If India has good relations, you will say ki you are engaging with terrorists. On one hand you are saying ki we will not allow any terrorists from Pakistan, and on the other hand you are laughing with these terrorists from Afghanistan. So that means you are not against terrorism, you are only against terrorism which is against your own country. So you are being hypocrite. So that is why India cannot engage with Taliban, because their terrorists are sitting there. If you have good relations with Taliban, Pakistan will say, see, we told you, they just hate us, they don't hate terrorism. So that is another blocker. You are understanding what are the blockers, how are you supposed to write issues, what are the challenges in this relationship. It is very easy for India to just open embassy, have good relations, but these things will come into play. You know, India is always against terrorism. We say there should be no terrorism, but we cannot, that is why we cannot engage with them. Now please write down. Non-recognition dilemma. Non-recognition dilemma. Non-recognition dilemma. India has not formally recognized Taliban. Not formally recognized Taliban, which creates a in apostrophe, right? Engage but don't endorse, which creates a engage but don't endorse tightrope. We will engage but not endorse you. Engage but don't endorse tightrope. We are talking but we are not recognizing. Next, human rights and gender apartheid. Human rights and gender apartheid make normalization of ties diplomatically sensitive. Next, top Taliban leaders are under UNSC 1988 sanctions committee, travel bans. Next, presence of terror ecosystem in Afghanistan. Next, economic collapse of Afghanistan. Economic collapse in Afghanistan. And next, competing regional players like China, Iran, Turkey, Pakistan, are all trying for influence. So these are some challenges as far as Afghanistan-India relationship is concerned. A lot of people are trying, you cannot recognize also, It is undergoing an economic collapse also. A lot of problems are there and you have to find a way. So what is the way? How do you suggest India should go forward if we have to write a way forward? You know, in answer writing, major things are significance, challenges, and then there is a way forward. What is the way forward as far as India-Afghanistan relationship is concerned? You have definitely don't have a perfect answer, I understand. But you can write some general points. What should India do? Should continue goodwill, humanitarian help we should keep giving, medical supplies. We should continue to build on our soft power. Bring that term. Continue to build on your soft power. Keep following Gujarat doctrine. Fine. Give priority to Afghanistan in our neighborhood first policy. Fine. Do not let China gain strategic space there. These are some way forward which you can give. As far as recognition is concerned, you can say that India should not bind itself by moral obligations, rather should pursue its national interest. वहाँ gender का, what gender problem is happening over there? Fine, it is a problem, but is it our problem? Women are not given rights over there. One can argue that it is not right, we should not talk to that people. But on the other hand, as India's government, the government has to ensure that women are treated respectfully in India. What is happening there is wrong, but not our concern. If terrorists come here and kill us, that will be even more wrong. So we need to have a good relationship with them. Follow your national interest, as simple as that. That is the core of realism. Remember realism? Don't be very idealistic. No country is perfect. You can have good relations with Russia. There also women might be suffering. In Iran also women are suffering. In Saudi also women might be suffering. Yes, ma'am. Yes. If Indian women are staying in that country, so first of all, any foreigners for that matter have to follow their dress code. They cannot work, they cannot go out. It is for all women. They do not allow anything. If you are a US national, for example, and Taliban is pressurized by US, so if you are a US female, they might give you some exceptions, because US is a very big country and they can, if they are, you must have seen many Indians are crazy for getting a US citizenship. Everybody wants to be a US citizen. Why? What is so special about being a US citizen? You are all citizens of India only. That is why you are missing UPSC paper. Right? You are citizen of India. Suppose your friend becomes a citizen of USA. What extra privilege is he going to get? Do you know? If US citizen is there in any country, and anything happens to him, even an accident, the US government intervenes and US government says, my citizen over there, it was your responsibility to protect him, why did you not protect him, give me an answer. So that is the power of being a US citizen. US citizens are, no country can go against them. If you actually go to Parliament House right now, being an Indian citizen, and in Indian Parliament House, they will tell you, take appointment, leave, we will not let you enter, come after 30 days. But if a US citizen goes, they will see what they can do. They will treat him respectfully. That is the power of being a US citizen. That is the power of belonging to the most powerful country in the world. That is hard power. Because they know if we treat him badly, that guy will pick up the phone and call us. And he can do anything. He can do anything. This Trump guy can do anything. So that is US. So if a woman is a US citizen, she might get some exceptions. Otherwise, generally they believe that in Taliban rule, they are following a particular ideology, and in that women are not equal as men. So they have like, you have to be parda and everything, so that has to be there. Yes, yes. If you are staying in this country, you have to follow this rule. That is what they are not democratic people. If you have a problem, leave. That is what is a dictatorship. Right? So some way forward that we can write: sustain diplomatic engagement while withholding formal recognition. Keep talking. Don't recognize them, but always have backdoor talks. In diplomacy, in foreign policy, you will come across a term called track 2 diplomacy. Write down, make a box again. These new terms I am defining to you. Write down track 2 diplomacy. It is a non-governmental, informal dialogue between non-official actors, like academicians, retired diplomats, celebrities, bracket में you can write cricketers from opposing nations. Next, operating outside formal channels, it builds trust, comma, explores creative solutions, and opens channels of communication, during conflicts, without the political risk, or rigidity of track 1 negotiations. So see, when governments are talking to governments in foreign policy, Modi ji is talking to Nawaz Sharif, Modi ji is talking to Xi Jinping, Mr. Jaishankar is talking to foreign minister of some X country. It is called track 1 diplomacy. Directly the government is talking to a government. Fine, that is one way of doing things. But this way of doing things is very formal. You can say certain things, you cannot say certain things. There has to be a protocol. You see, when any foreign state president comes, people go to receive him, they escort him, everything is very formal. But then there comes track 2 diplomacy. Track 1 is government. What is track 2? It is not going to be asked directly, but if you can write in your answers, it will give you 1 extra point. Track 2. Suppose 2 leaders are there. Modi ji is there, Xi Jinping is there. They don't want to talk. They are all tall leaders. Both are representing their nation. They cannot budge. Fine, they have to be very strong and being a no, we will not agree. Trump and Modi are having a fight. They are not angry. But then what happens? There is some very respected person from India. You can assume maybe it is Shah Rukh Khan, for example. Generally it is not Bollywood people. They are IAS officers or some people like that. But let us assume it is SRK. SRK has a very good fan following probably in USA. So he will, maybe Donald Trump is a fan of SRK personally. So Indian government can push SRK and ask him to you go and talk to Trump. Use your personal leverage over there. You go and talk to some other Hollywood star. Understand what we can do. So this is informal. These people can informally talk and do something about it. Fine. For example, I can give you an example of recently there was FIFA World Cup. Anybody followed? No FIFA fans, no football fans? Fine. So Donald Trump essentially, or it was happening where it was happening, that you must know. It was happening in USA. So if there is a very big footballer called Messi and there is a very good footballer called Ronaldo, and now there are two countries, Argentina and Portugal. They want to have a trade deal or something, the governments want to negotiate, and they are not able to find a solution, or there is a stalemate. They can involve their track to diplomacy. You guys talk. Ronaldo will come to Argentina. He will have a grand thing and people will be like, oh, Portuguese are so good people, everything. Similar thing Messi will do here. He will visit Portugal. Portuguese people will be fan. Wow, Messi is there. And Messi will say, I only make one demand to you. Please sign this trade deal with my country. And then the whole emotion of the country might change. So that is something called track to diplomacy, where you involve informal agents. You understand what is happening? Informally things are happening. Sometimes in your house also, if you want to talk to some other family and those fathers are talking, they are very formal, they are not able to crack a deal. Then you involve the mothers. They take some route and anyway come at a solution. Okay, let us do things like this only. That is track to diplomacy. Understood? Any doubts? Other way forwards are also written here. They are very simple. Please write a conclusion for India-Afghanistan. Then we'll take a break. India should follow a patient, pragmatic, India should follow a patient, pragmatic and principled approach comma, continue humanitarian aid targeted development diplomacy, and strategic cooperation. It will safeguard India's interests. And support Afghanistan's peace, progress and stability in a volatile region. So we have finished India, Pakistan and India, Afghanistan. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Abhi we'll take a break. Let us meet at 1:05 again. Okay. Any doubts? No? Please write the heading, India-Bangladesh relations. How many of you tried writing answer yesterday? You wrote all, everybody wrote. So you wrote in pages or your copies? You can submit the pages to me. Book, sir. Fine. Whoever is written on pages, give it to me. I'll give it back to you tomorrow. And who has written in copies, I'll check right now. But from now on, write in some pages so that you can submit it to me. I'll give it to you next day, corrected copies. So India-Bangladesh relations is starting again. We have to read a lot of countries. So first of all, as a matter of fact, our information about Afghanistan till now, based on our lectures, is that India was very instrumental in creation of Bangladesh. Which war was that? Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971. Fine. India shares a land boundary with Bangladesh. How many kilometers? Oh, very good. 4096. 4096. With which country India shares its largest or longest border? Bangladesh. We have our biggest border with Bangladesh only. It is around 4096 kilometers. Second biggest? Nobody remembers second. China or Pakistan? Look up. Chalo, no worries. Not important. We'll go there when we read it. The more important is the biggest border is with Bangladesh, 4096 kilometers. Fine. If we go to the history, we always start with history of our relationship with that country. What is India-Bangladesh's history? In history, have you read Bengal partition happened before independence also once? Yes, it happened by who was the viceroy at that point of time? Lord something. It is very important, most famous. Lord Curzon. Fine, Lord Curzon was there. So Lord Curzon basically decided to divide Bengal. Fine, he wanted Bengal to be divided into two. And then there was a Swadeshi movement which started. People started taking out Prabhat ferries and they were all singing songs. Jan Gan Man was born there. Fine. So everything was happening over there, and later they had to revoke the partition of Bengal in 1911. This is the history. So essentially the Bangladesh of today is the Bengal of yesterday. So there are a lot of cultural ties there. Durga Puja is celebrated here, Durga Puja is celebrated there also. Fine. The language is same, Bengali is there. Do they speak Urdu or Bengali in Bangladesh? Both. Now it is turning towards Urdu, but initially it was all Bengali. You know the birth of Bangladesh. Why was Bangladesh born? You definitely know that earlier Bangladesh was Pakistan only. It was East Pakistan, and the Pakistan of today was West Pakistan, and India was somewhere in the middle. Correct? Everybody follows. What happened that Bangladesh actually was born? Any one of you has followed why? India was involved, agreed. But there must be something, then India got involved. What happened? History of Bangladesh. I'll tell you what happened. So basically what happened was, there were elections in Pakistan. Fine. Usually till 1970s what happened? The person who belonged to this part of Pakistan, West Pakistan, always came into the government. They were forming the government. But in this election, Mujibur Rahman, who was the father of Sheikh Hasina, that person actually won. They won the election. And this was not okay with West Pakistan. West Pakistan wanted power should be here, we are the main people. But he was like, now I have won democratically, I should become the PM. And that is where the problem started. These people were not ready to hand over power to this East Pakistan. And then Mujibur Rahman said, fine, we will make our own nation. And then when they stood with this demand, India saw an opportunity. Okay, he wants our own nation. We will give you whatever support you need. Pakistan has no land access, direct connectivity. They will use their air force, drop some army over here. We will counter them with our army. What is the harm? And then that is what happened, led to Bangladesh Liberation War, and Bangladesh was born. This Mujibur Rahman was very grateful to India that you helped me, and his policies were generally very beneficial or favorable to India. Definitely, if you have helped somebody, that person is going to make policies which are helpful to you. His daughter Sheikh Hasina again followed his father's footsteps, and till Sheikh Hasina was in power, India has very good relations with Bangladesh. India's relations were very good with Bangladesh because she also shared the same lineage. She was also from the same family. Where is Sheikh Hasina now? Well, she was in Bangladesh, and if you know, there were protests against her and she fled Bangladesh. Where did she come? India. First of all, now where she is, nobody knows. But she firstly came to India. India said, we'll help you. Please come to us. So that is the level of trust and relationship Sheikh Hasina shared with India. Fine. Language was same, culture was same, dressing was same, everything was same in Bangladesh and West Bengal. Today what we call West Bengal. Right? They were all Bengalis over there. And if you know, in history, Bengal was the main city of India. It was the intellectual capital of India. If you name any freedom fighter, they will either be, the major ones will either be from Bengal or Maharashtra. If you see Aurobindo Ghosh, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, where were these all people based? They were all Bengalis. Swami Vivekananda. Fine. So it was the intellectual capital of this nation. A lot of people were there. It was the house of whole freedom movement. Fine. And then it was partition. Pakistan took half of it, and later it was developed into Bangladesh. Fine. So chalo, we'll start with writing something. India-Bangladesh relations. Historical and cultural significance. Historical and cultural significance. Please write down. They have shared history and culture. They have shared history and culture. They have shared history and culture. Art and culture is done. What is culture? Shared culture we are writing. What is culture? Foreign policy is also principles. Culture is also principles. What is culture? Actually, you understand religion and culture are different things. Fine. See, culture is something to do with way of living. How do you live? For example, festivals. Do you think Muslims living in India also somehow are a part of Diwali? Deepavali is a festival. Ganesh Chaturthi is a festival. The people living in South, do you think they are all a part of Onam, irrespective of religion? The whole idea, do they speak the same Kannada language, whether Hindu or Muslim? Everybody knows the language Kannada. How do they know it? People speak in English. If a Muslim or a Hindu or a Sikh is living in USA, will they be speaking Urdu or Punjabi or Hindi, or they will all be speaking English? English. Why? Because English is the culture of that area. So language is culture. Your dressing is culture. Even if, for example, if any Indian is living in Spain, they will dress according to the Spanish culture. Maybe jeans are common over there. In India, saris are common. So the whole idea is these all things are a part of your culture. Understand? Language is a part of culture. Yes. Cuisine is a part of culture. Correct? People might, there are 10 people in this room. Fine. They might all follow different religions, but they will go out and have the same chai, have the same tea, have the same coffee. Fine. Because that is the culture. They will have the same food. So that is all culture. What you eat, what you dress like, how you talk to each other, that is a part of culture. That is why we say Indian culture is non-violent. We are not violent people. We are loving people, we are caring people, compared to a US culture. US culture is more materialistic. I need to maximize profit. Culture hai. It is their culture. Our culture is more philosophical. We will live like that and life should be this and we do this stuff. That is our culture. Now my whole idea is Bangladesh and Bengal had a very shared culture. Culture basically meant spoke the same language, ate the same food. What do they eat in Bengal most? Not most, majorly. Fish is eaten. Fine. Rasagulla is eaten. So they all used to do the same thing. They have a very sameness on both sides. So they have a shared culture and history. What did you write till now? Shared history and culture. Okay, please continue. Bengal's cultural unity was seen through shared language, common literature, same books they read, same Tagore they read, shared literature and festivals. The 1971, next point, the 1971 Liberation War. 1971 Liberation War. 1971 Liberation War, supported by India, forged, F-O-R-G-E-D, forged deep emotional and political ties. Deep emotional and political ties. Basically, we were very involved in the birth of a nation, and that is why we had very good political ties with it also. So this is historical ties. We also have geographical ties with Bangladesh, shares a land border. There are a lot of rivers which flow from India to Bangladesh. How many rivers essentially? 54 rivers are there, but yes, Ganga flows, Brahmaputra flows, Teesta river flows. Teesta river dispute we are also going to read it. Fine. So water, we share the same water also, same geography. See, is it visible or is it too small? You can read? Okay. This is the land border 4096, 54 transboundary rivers are there. Okay. For India's northeast, Bangladesh provides shortest land and port access. Right? If you are somewhere in Meghalaya and you want to ship something from the sea route, one option is you will have to come through all encircling through the chicken corridor and come to Bengal, and then through Bengal you have to trade. Other is Bangladesh is very close there, so they can directly, if let us suppose, I will draw a map for better understanding. Assume this is a rough depiction of India's map. You are somewhere here. This is Bangladesh. This area is Bangladesh. Now we have a port over here. One option you have to travel here. Second option you can simply find a port here, which is closer. This is closer. So if we have good relation with Bangladesh, we can have better port access to them. Fine. India's northeast can develop. One thing that I have to tell you. What do you call this area over here? Chicken corridor or Siliguri corridor. This is a very, very, like I have made this wrong essentially. If you actually see, this is very narrow area. This is called a strategic choke point. If somebody blocks this area, our whole connectivity with northeast can be dismantled. Fine, this is a huge problem over here. Recently, Bangladesh leaders actually gave a statement, and they will say if India does not help us, we are going to block the chicken corridor. After Sheikh Hasina, now the government is not with us, and they gave this statement that we will block this area. So this is India's strategic choke point. Here China is there, here Bangladesh is there, and if they somehow block this area, our whole northeast can be cut. So it is a major risk for India. Understand? Have you heard of Sajal Islam? He is a person who is under UAPA, arrested by the government during CAA protests in Delhi. You know, protesters are charged people. Currently also they are like fighting with the government. Right or wrong is a different thing. But he actually, Sajal Islam, was a protester and he gave a statement. He said, as protesters, we should do this, we should choke this area and we should separate India, separate Northeast from mainland India. And this was seen, this statement of his was seen anti-national. Being in India, you can protest, but you cannot say ki I will separate India's integrity. Remember, integrity that we read in preamble, unity. You cannot talk about this. You can say the government is not working properly, we should remove the government, ask for resignation, but you cannot say we will like establish a territory, we will make China enter or something like that. So that is why that person is arrested till now. The whole point I am trying to make over here is this area over here. This Siliguri corridor is very, very important. And Bangladesh is here, China is here. So that is why it comes into picture. Whenever we are discussing issues with Bangladesh, whenever you are discussing Bangladesh, this should strike. The geography, you have to understand what is happening over here. Fine. India was one of the first countries to recognize Bangladesh. When Mujib government was formed, new Bangladesh was formed from older Pakistan. India was the first to give its recognition. In polity, have you read about this land boundary agreement, 100th constitutional amendment? What was this? Have you read it? Article 2, Article 3, you remember? What was Article 2? If India occupies any foreign territory, so it has to make a constitutional amendment. Remember? This was done in 2015. What happened? I will tell you. India had good relations with Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina is there, Modi ji is there, both are good friends. What happened? Okay, what happened? This is India, suppose this is Bangladesh. Some areas are there. Fine. There are small islands, sort of enclaves we call them. They are villages essentially. What is happening over here? This is closer to India but governed by Pakistan. This is closer to Bangladesh but governed by India. So something of that sort was happening. The division was not done properly. So both the governments sat and they decided, let us do one thing. Let us exchange. The slaves which are closer to India should be given to India. Ones which are closer to Bangladesh should be given to Bangladesh. Both leaders agreed. India made a constitutional amendment, said ki okay, from today these areas are Bangladesh's and these areas are India's. And because both parties were good, basically idealism of Nehru was followed here. Both agreed, okay, it is logical, let us do this, both did this. Because India had a very good relationship with Bangladesh. So even disputes can be settled very amicably if two people have a good relationship. But can this happen in case of India-Pakistan? No. That POK issue is running, Sar Creek issue is running, Siachen is running, because they don't want to settle it. Fine. So this was one issue. This was this. This is 100th Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, just a thing, the relationship between India and Bangladesh from 2009 to 24 under Mrs. Sheikh Hasina, what is it known as? It is known as the Golden Era, and it is also called very famously Shonali Adhyay, which essentially means golden period. You can write Golden Era or this also, whichever you feel more comfortable in. In August 2024, there was a monsoon revolution. What was the monsoon revolution? the whole country erupted against Sheikh Hasina, and they basically threw out Sheikh Hasina. She had to run for her life over there. Fine. 1400 people were killed over there. The government was overturned, and then there was this person called Muhammad Yunus who came into power for the interim. Fine. He was the interim government, and recently there have been elections, and there is a party called BNP. I think its full form is Bangladesh National Party. I am not sure. Now BNP is in power. This is the current situation. India had very good relationship with Sheikh Hasina. She is not there anymore. Now BNP is in power, and now India needs to develop its relationship from scratch. Now please write down significance. Significance of, just write significance of India-Bangladesh relations. Why is Bangladesh so important for us? Do you think Bangladesh's location is important? Yes, it has access to a lot of ports. Please write down. Is Bangladesh a part of India's neighborhood policy? Yes, it is India's neighbor. Please write down. Significance. Geostrategic. First point, geostrategic. It provides India with access to Bay of Bengal. It provides India with access to Bay of Bengal and serves as an important route for trade and connectivity. Next, geopolitical significance we'll see. A stable and friendly Bangladesh is crucial. A stable and friendly Bangladesh is crucial for India's security. Issues like cross-border terrorism, border management, cross-border terrorism, border management, drug trafficking, human trafficking, can be managed only when these nations have friendly relations. Next, geoeconomic. Please write down. Bangladesh is India's largest South Asian trade partner. With a bilateral trade of around $18 billion. Next point, international cooperation. When Whenever we are writing significance, we see geostrategic, geopolitical, geoeconomical, and now international cooperation. Strong India-Bangladesh cooperation is essential. Strong India-Bangladesh cooperation is essential for success of regional platforms, like BIMSTEC and SARC. This we are going to read on Friday. Like BIMSTEC and SARC. You don't have a class on Saturday, right? Monday to Friday. You will come? You don't have any other commitments, no? ठीक है. I'll let you know on Friday. Ten to 1, you are all available? Yes, we can do that, no worries. I'll discuss with the management and... Sorry?
We told to sir also.
Ravi sir?
Informed Ravi sir.
Haan.
He told that he will talk to you.
Okay, then we'll make it happen, don't worry. Fine, tomorrow 10 to 1 we can do. You will get the message on the group. Saturday I'll let you know. But 10 to 1 to easy. Nobody has a problem, no? Fine. Whatever works for you. Fine, so we saw some significances. Geostrategic significance, geopolitical, geoeconomic. Another points can always come over here. What are the points? Countering China. Fine, India-Bangladesh relationship should be good if we want to counter China from getting into Bangladesh. It will get Bangladesh, some port of Bangladesh. It will develop good relations with Bangladesh. Right now we saw a map also. If we see, this is India's map. What was this area called again? Siliguri corridor or Chickens corridor. Here is this country called Bangladesh. Fine, this is Bangladesh. Do you know that there is some insurgency or instability in Northeast India? There are some Maoist groups operating. Fine, there is always violence. Do you think they do violence here? And if India-Bangladesh relations are not good, they can easily sneak into Bangladesh. And then Indian government can never, get them. Whenever they have to make an attack, they will just come from some area, do the attack, leave again. This is what is happening when your relationship is not good with Bangladesh. Till 2024, your relationship was very good. Bangladesh was not allowing this. So what these people used to do? They used to go to another country called Myanmar. Right? Now what is happening? Our relationship with Bangladesh is also spoiled. So now we have to manage this border and this border also, because these people are committing crimes here, doing violence and running away. So you understand what's happening. That is why you need a very good relationship. Challenges. Please write down challenges in India-Bangladesh relations. Challenges in India-Bangladesh relations. Let us do one thing. 10:30 to 1:30 is fine. Let us do 10:30 to 1:30 tomorrow, and day after tomorrow I'll see if we can do 10 to 1 only. Challenges in India-Bangladesh relations. Tell me, what are the challenges? Some challenges, same only, nothing else. Some special challenges will arise here. Yes, I told you these people are infiltrating. Acha, we have the biggest border with Bangladesh, that is established. How many kilometers? 4096 kilometers. And see, the problem with a big border is you cannot guard the entire border. And I told you there are 54 rivers also passing. So from somewhere the terrain will be hilly, somewhere it will be marshy, somewhere river is going, trees are there. So it is very difficult to guard the entire 4000 kilometer border. There will always be some sections which can be exploited by people who want to come in. Drugs can be used. Rivers may, they can throw the drugs in the river by packing it properly, and it can be received in India. Fine. They use all these tactics. Fine. Cow smuggling is done. Drugs is done. Drugs is put packets in the stomach of the cows. That cows are basically released through those areas to go into Indian territory. Some marking is done. Indians receive those cows, take drugs out of their stomach, kill the cow, take the drug. Fine. So this is happening. Cow smuggling is happening. Drugs trafficking is happening. Human trafficking is happening. Refugee crisis is happening. A lot of people who are not able to live properly in Bangladesh, they are coming to Bengal. You must have heard that political thing also, no? That a lot of Bangladeshis are migrating into Bengal, and their Aadhaar cards are being made in India for political advantages. That is all happening. Why? Because there is such a huge border, and it is not humanly possible to guard the entire border at once. You are understanding the whole scenario. So that is why it is happening. Now you can say, no, we should protect the border, but the geography is so difficult that it is not allowing us to do that. It is a very difficult geography. There is hills, there is mud, there is river flowing, everything is happening. So these are some challenges. One specific challenge we have is something called the Teesta River dispute. Write down first point, Teesta River dispute. So see how river sharing, suppose a river is coming from India and entering into Bangladesh. Can India build a dam, stop all the water in Indian territory itself without letting it go to Bangladesh? Can do or can't do? Can do, so anything can do, but ideally it is not done. Because the problem is, if India does that with Bangladesh, there are rivers coming from China to India also. China can also do that to India. See, so everybody can do that to each other. So the basic international law is that nobody will stop water. India and Bangladesh will sit together, they will finalize a ratio. For example, every river water has a ratio. If Teesta river is flowing, India is allowed to use 50% water, and 50% water it will let pass through to Bangladesh. This is the agreements which happen. We recently saw something called Indus Water Treaty. Indus water was flowing from India to Pakistan. In this, what happened was, India was allowed to use 20%, let's suppose. It can use it for hydroelectricity generation. These all they can use. But rest of the water was supposed to pass to Pakistan. India suspended it. Fine. Now similar thing is happening over here. There is a river called Teesta. Teesta river, from India it is flowing to Bangladesh. But there is no treaty like Indus Water Treaty over here. So what happens? Sometimes India uses more. Sometimes if Bangladesh is not happy, they say ki India is not behaving properly with us. Sometimes when there is a drought in Bangladesh, they say that India is responsible. India used more water from Teesta this time. Maybe the rainfall was less, and hence the water was less. Sometimes if India is facing difficulty, India has a water crisis, maybe it might also use Teesta water here in Bihar. So that is all confusion over there. There is no treaty. That is why Teesta river dispute is not solved till now. Also, if you know, rivers often change their course. If this was the original course, it might happen it starts to go to Bangladesh like this, and from here maybe more water is seeping into the ground. That much water is not available now. Rainfall might not happen, but this whole problem of water is spoiling the relationship of India and Bangladesh. We don't have a functional treaty about the water, how water will be used. There is no treaty. Right? 54 rivers are passing from India and Bangladesh, and we have a treaty on only 2 rivers. Rest 52 rivers are disputed. We are always fighting. You are doing this, we are doing this, everybody is fighting over there. We don't have a treaty. You understand? Why internationally? Even nationally Indian states are fighting on river water. There is a Kaveri river dispute. Between which states? Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So river water is a very big issue where everybody is fighting. Why river water is so big? Because agriculture dependent economies we are. Bangladesh, which is the major crop grown in Bangladesh? Jute, rice, both are very water intensive crops. If jute does not get water, it will not, properly develop. So it is a problem. Rice is a problem. So they want water, and water is coming from India. And if water is not coming from India properly, then the India-Bangladesh relationship is, spoiled. So that is the problem. Please write down Teesta river dispute. I will show you Teesta. This is the Teesta river. Fine, it is flowing from Sikkim to Bangladesh. This is another river which is called Kushiara river. Kushiara river is one of those two rivers on which we have a treaty. Fine. So here what is written is, India-Bangladesh have 54 common rivers, but only 2 transboundary water sharing treaties have been signed so far. Ganga water treaty and Kushiara. Ganga water is properly divided. Kushiara, but a major point of contention remains the Teesta river dispute. Fine. Chalo, let us write about Teesta river dispute. Please write down Teesta river is a Teesta river dispute is a water sharing conflict between India and Bangladesh. This river originates in Sikkim. Travels through West Bengal and enters Bangladesh, where it is the lifeline of agriculture. During the dry season, tensions always emerge. On sharing of Teesta water. In 2011, what happened? There was this almost finalized proposal about the Teesta river dispute between India and Bangladesh. That this should happen. But what happened was, Bengal government was basically not in line, and they were like, if you do this, do you remember in 2011 which government was there? 2011. Modi ji was there? No. UPA was there, led by Congress. But it was not a full majority government. Fine. Let's revise polity also. Not a full majority government. It needed support from regional parties. Regional parties may be DMK, maybe SP, maybe TMC. Mamata Banerjee. Support was needed. When this agreement was being finalized, then the Bengal government said ki no, Teesta is passing through Bengal also, and you cannot do this deal with Bangladesh. We will not allow. If you do this deal, we will back off from the government. And that is why the Indian government could not go ahead with the deal. You understanding what happened? That is why it is always said that in center you should have a strong government, so that it is not influenced by some state's needs. What matters is the nation in general, not a particular state. So that is one argument. So as UPA government had support of West Bengal government, they could not go against West Bengal government at this point. And Teesta river dispute is going on. After that, when now Sheikh Hasina is not there, so now there is a very little chance that this deal will happen. Now they will not agree. So sometime, matlab, everybody is somewhere, you know, there is always some hiccup in the agreement, and that is why the agreement is not being able to happen. These river disputes continue. Next challenge, please write down. Cross-border terrorism and infiltration. Cross-border terrorism and infiltration. Next, cattle smuggling. Next, cattle smuggling, prostitution, cattle smuggling, prostitution, fake currency smuggling are other issues. Fake currency, what did I say? Fake currency smuggling, fake currency transfer or fake currency smuggling is another issue. Next point, drug smuggling and trafficking. Drug smuggling and trafficking. Drug smuggling and trafficking through unguarded borders. Next challenge is a very big challenge: rising radicalization and minority persecution in Bangladesh. Rising radicalization and minority persecution in Bangladesh. You know, recently there was this case, a Hindu man was burnt alive in Bangladesh. There were videos of it on social media also. So Hindus are in minority in Bangladesh, but they are in majority in India. So when an incident of this sort happens in some other country, it basically spoils the relationship. Now today, let us assume the Hindu was burnt there, fine. Now if the current government gives some grant to Bangladesh, fine. Gujarat doctrine we are following, neighborhood first policy. We give some free grant to Bangladesh. There will always be a side which will say ki they are killing Hindus there and you are giving them free money, fine. So now it is difficult for the governments to establish a good relationship. They cannot show goodwill. Modi ji cannot just meet Bangladesh and laugh. Bangladeshi PM and say ki wow, we are so good friends. They will say, if you were so good friends, when that Hindu was burnt, at that point why you were not speaking? So increasing radicalization, minority persecution over there is going to affect the something which we basically saw, P2P relations. Now Indian people don't like Bangladeshi people because they killed Hindus. Yeah, Indian Hindus don't like Bangladeshi people because they are killing Hindus over there. So P2P friction is arising, and this P2P is going to reflect in government to government relations also. You understand what's happening? So that is it. Rising radicalization, that is why it is different. Also, yesterday we read about Belt and Road Initiative. We discussed China is is investing in every country. It wants its presence to be there in every country. In Bangladesh also China has invested a lot. How much has it invested? Wait, I'll tell you. China has invested in 12 highways, 21 bridges, 27 power and energy projects in Bangladesh. So now Bangladesh has a dependency on China. and it is a problem for India. Fine. So China, growing Chinese influence in Bangladesh is another challenge. So these are some challenges as far as India-Bangladesh relationship is concerned. After that, please write the heading way forward. What is way forward in India-Bangladesh relationship? Way forward. Can anybody tell me what to do? You know the challenges. The government is not very friendly towards us right now. Teesta issue is over there. Drug trafficking is there. Borders are not very well guarded. China is increasing. What should be the way forward? You can always give, for these types of situations only I have told you words like India should initiate track 2 diplomacy. If the government is not talking, we can go track 2. What was track 2? Yeah, informal processes to engage the government. Fine. Sheikh Hasina is not there does not mean we will not talk now. We will talk. If the government is not talking, we will have some other things. We will see if Shah Rukh Khan is famous there, Salman Khan is famous there. We will use them. We will use their face to develop a relationship with, to increase the P2P relations over there. So please write down. Do you have a solution for Teesta River dispute? What can we give there? Basically, we can say in such situations when there is a dispute that try to incrementally solve the dispute and not solve the whole dispute at once. Don't think there will be one deal which will solve the entire Teesta River dispute. We can go incrementally. Okay, every year we will give you 5%, 10, something like that. Small steps should be taken. Chalo, let us write. I'll make it write. Diversify political engagement. Diversify political engagement. Move beyond a single party relationship. Move beyond a single party relationship. Move beyond a single party relationship, comma, sustain the outreach to BNP, sustain the outreach to BNP, comma, civil society, and youth via track 2 diplomacy, via track 2 diplomacy. Next, resolve Teesta dispute. Resolve Teesta dispute. Resolve Teesta dispute incrementally. Resolve Teesta dispute incrementally, rather than incrementally in a phased manner. Incrementally in a phased manner, rather than waiting for a single comprehensive deal. Next, increased use of technology. Increased use of technologies like AI. Increased use of technologies like AI, comma, drones. Sorry. Increased use of technology like AI, comma, drones for better border management. Now, last way forward. Yes, ma'am.
How the government can border there is
Yes, they are using it. So basically, the rivers are there, no, and it is very difficult for humans to guard it. So they are basically releasing crocodiles into the rivers, so that the crocodiles can eat if somebody is trying to get from there. So it is an innovative way which they are trying, but it is in a very testing phase right now. So let the reports come out if it is successful or not.
It's also
Hard power, yes. Border management has to be done by hard power only. Soft power doesn't work there. It is hard power. Either you have people with guns over there or crocodiles or whatever. Bangladesh is also doing, no? Border management, everybody knows that there will be people with guns standing. That is because every nation has territorial integrity. That is not considered very like a problematic thing. For example, if you are visiting the Parliament of India, you will see security guards over there with guns in their hand. Does not mean that Parliament is your enemy, but that is a protocol. Because if it is not there, then the bad elements will also come in. That is why border management, we use hard power over there. Last way forward, and this you can write in all the nations which we have discussed. Offer a credible alternative. Offer a credible alternative to Chinese investments. Offer a credible alternative to Chinese investments. Write in this. Faster project completion. Faster project completion, comma, competitive financing, and deeper energy partnerships, to prevent Dhaka's drift towards Beijing. There is a very famous saying in international relations. India promises, but China delivers. India promises every nation that we will build this for you, dam, this project. But in the end, India does not deliver. Some problem comes in, India ka finances get stuck or something like that. But if China promises, China delivers. So the saying is, India promises, China delivers. We have to break this perception. How can we break this? If you say we will complete the project in 6 months, you complete it in 5 months. The nation should trust you. If they are choosing you above China, if they are choosing India, then India should deliver. Otherwise, if there is a perception, some people have this perception, that this person, he will never work. Don't be that person. India should not be that nation which has a very negative perception. No, we should be like India promises, India delivers. Correct? Fine. So tomorrow, let's meet. Tomorrow it is, I got a message, tomorrow it will be the same time.